saying maybe someday, maybe this day, maybe.
Maybe someday I'll be strong. Maybe it won't be long. I'll be the one who's tough. You'll be the one who's got it rough. It won't be long, and maybe I'll be real strong. Maybe I'll be fast as you. Maybe I'll break hearts too. But I think you'll slow down when your turn to hurt comes around. Maybe I'll break hearts and be as fast as you.
From the world's fastest speedway, you're watching Busch Grand National Racing live on the Nashville Network. From the Talladega Superspeedway, TNN Motorsports proudly presents live coverage of the Fram Filters 500K for the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series. Thousands of fans await the command to fire engines here for 43 Busch Grand National machines. Winston Cup and ARCA and Busch Grand National regular drivers in the field today as we get set to go racing under 90-degree temperatures and very humid skies. Nice little cloud cover right now. That's helped the folks in the grandstand somewhat and on pit road and in these race cars. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Joy. And joining me are fellas that between them share 8 Talladega victories. Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker with 4 apiece. Let's turn on our TNN Wayback Machine and take you back to 1975.
Hey, that looks like ODW in the 88 car there. And Baker, you told me to stay in line. Now, what's the deal?
Well, here we have Darrell and I going by the start-finishing line there. This is Richard Petty and I fighting it out for the lead. My car gets a little loose and goes down in Richard's lane, and I'm able to hold him off for the win.
Yeah, I bet that took his breath away.
Well, they've each won 4 apiece here. How do you win at Talladega? What's the secret?
Well, Mike, I believe it's being precise, very precise moves, precision moves, if you will, almost. Be in the right place at the right time. It's really like the Blue Angels. You know, they get up there and they're side by side, inches away, and if one guy makes the wrong move, you got a bad crash, and that's kind of what happens here. You'll hear us talk today a lot about flaps up and flaps down. This is not an air show, but sometimes it turns into one.
Buddy, can this be a strategy race?
I think so, Mike, but one thing I always try to do is surround myself with talented people so I didn't get myself in trouble. So what I tried to do was get on a lane that was real fast with a bunch of drivers that I put a lot of dependence in.
All right, what we're going to do is go downstairs, get a little fluorescent paint for Darrell's very tasteful-looking tie as we go meet the pole sitter with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, a lot of fluorescent paint on this car, too, Mike. No mistaking who Jeff Purvis is. He doesn't run many Busch Grand National races. Jeff, you come in here, these guys don't like it too much when you come in here and steal their thunder, come to their backyard and take the pole away from them. Have you got something for them today?
I don't really know. They seem to think I do. They keep huddling up and leaving me out of the huddle, so I don't really know what they're talking about. But hopefully, if I've got a good car right here, they're going to stick around and try to be with me. And if I was in the points battle, that's what I'd try to do. I'd try to get with the fastest non-point car and go with them.
Well, he told me right before we went on the air that fastest car was him. He thinks he's got something for him, but before today's over, he's going to have to contend with that man in black back there, and Randy Pemberton is with him.
Well, you might think the man in black would take a Saturday off. Dale Earnhardt is starting on the outside of row 9, and he's the defending champion of this race. Dale, you're starting middle of the pack back here in 18th. What's your early race strategy? Would it be a mixture of patience and aggressiveness? I know you want to go to the front.
Well, just sort of wait and see how things shake out here. There's several good cars back here. Schrader and I run good together, and Ernie's not too far back. So we'll see how things shake out and get maybe a drafting partner and then try to start moving up. But really just want to get things sort of settled down and get in line.
Good luck, Dale. Well, I think Dale Earnhardt would lean a little towards the aggressive, and we'll be back to find out in just a moment when we bring you the starting lineup for the Fram Filters 500K right after these messages.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later. Get a $2 rebate on Fram air filters at participating retailers.
Exclusive coverage of the Fram Filters 500K on TNN is brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later. And by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley's been helping people do things right.
Getting set to roll off here at Talladega, Sears Die Hard Batteries present the starting grid for today's Fram Filters 500K, and on the pole sits Jeff Purvis. First career Busch Series pole and his second Busch start of the season. Sterling Marlin has his first top 20 Busch start this year on the outside pole. Randy LaJoie, runner-up in last year's Thriller, and Mark Martin, who won at Darlington in March. Row number 3, Dale Jarrett, an 8-time Busch winner, and Morgan Shepherd has 15 career wins in this series. Michael Waltrip, second in this race 2 years ago. Terry Labonte, a 3-time winner this year. Then Tim Fiedel, row 5 top 10s this year, and 92 series champ Joe Nemechek. Derek Cope starts on the inside of row 6, winner at New Hampshire in May, and Mike McLaughlin, 4 top 10s in the last 8 races. Doug Hebron makes his best superspeedway start. Jason Keller has a pair of poles this year. Ricky Craven, 2-time winner and second in points. Kenny Wallace, 7 top 5s, looking for his first win. How about this 9th row? Ken Schrader, 3rd at New Hampshire, and Dale Earnhardt, defending champ of this race. Row 10, Tracy Leslie, 4th last year. Chad Little last year was on the front row for this race. Row 11, Dennis Setzer, freshman victory at South Boston, and Bobby Dotter, 4th in the point standing. Ernie Irvin won the first Busch race here in '92, and Hermie Sadler is 3rd in the points. Randy Porter, who finished 3rd at Atlanta, and Rich Bickle, second start of the year for the Wisconsin driver. David Green with a 47-point lead in the standings, and Rodney Combs with 3 top 10s. Row 15, Johnny Rumley makes his first start on an oval bigger than a mile, and Larry Pearson, 2-time series champion. Dale Fishline, Dave Marcus's Winston Cup crew chief, makes his first start, and Jim Bound with 4 top 10s this year. Mike Wallace, winner at Dover and Milwaukee, and Johnny Benson, who's run 3rd in each of the last 2 races. Elton Sawyer, who got his first win at Myrtle Beach last month, and Steve Grissom, the '93 series champ. Robert Presley has 5 top 10s in the last 6 races, and Harry Gant, winner at Atlanta in March. Tommy Houston finished 2nd at Bristol in April, and Mike Garvey makes his second start in the last 9 races. Dave Rezendes, first time ever at Talladega, and Kevin LePage, the rookie from Vermont, are the provisional starters, and Bobby Labonte takes the champion's provisional to get into the field. Green flag is waving, and Sterling Marlin edges Jeff Purvis off toward turn number 1 by about half a car length. Make that a car length as they hit the banking.
Mike, the one thing you have there on the outside, is you see Marlin on the outside there with Mark Martin right behind him. Mark Martin has been the fastest car in practice all the way up to race time.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark and Sterling said, Sterling, you get the jump here, and I'll hop in behind you, and we'll go off and leave old Purvis. But he's holding his own pretty good down the back straightaway.
Jeff Purvis on the inside, right over him. Chartreuse number 51. Randy LaJoie coming up behind him. They stay double wide.
See Mark looking to the outside there. He's up beside Sterling coming off turn 4.
So
Man,
much for that
I tell
plan.
you what, yeah.
And by the way, Sterling, I'm going to pass you coming off turn 4, so be ready.
Into the tri-oval, and they'll come down past the end of pit road to lap 1. Mark Martin has led every Busch race he's run in 1994. Morgan Shepherd right with him. Terry Labonte, Joe Nemechek on the outside row, and then Marlin is shuffled back to 9th place.
Boy, Jeff Purvis has a really strong car. He's basically by himself there. He pulled right up to 2nd place there. Now he's dropping back just a little bit. That's Morgan Shepherd in 2nd place, right behind the lead car.
Yeah, and back in there, Sterling Marlin still in the middle of the 2 lines of traffic. He's making it 3 wide through the turns. He's going straight to the back, and nothing he can do about it.
4 wide there for a second as they enter the corner, and Marlin has to squeeze out of there.
Yeah, he just got out of position, and he couldn't get in either line, which put him right in the middle of the 2 lines, and he's still there. He cannot go either. He can't get in either line.
I don't think I've ever seen that, where somebody here gets freight trained for a whole lap on both sides.
I've seen it.
Up close and personal.
Yeah, yes, I have. I visited that.
Mark Martin leads lap 2.
You know, Mike, everybody wants to know what's so wonderful about Talladega. That's 3 abreast all the way around this racetrack. These guys are racing right now.
It is, and it's also the most nerve-wracking because of the closeness. I mean, one bobble by somebody here is disastrous.
Riding with Ricky Craven. That's Kenny Wallace just ahead. Wide again up into turn number 3. Now 3 cars have established a little bit of a breakaway at the front.
Well, I guarantee you they'd love to keep it that way. That's Terry Labonte in third there. They can break away from that pack and kind of get by themselves and pull away from the pack, and it's a lot safer out there by yourself.
Johnny Benson has dropped the cylinder. Look at the 3 single-file cars open up on Jeff Purvis side by side with Nemechek. Mike McLaughlin right behind Nemechek on the outside.
Well, you see Purvis there right in the middle of that second pack there. He's in the second lane there, and he's not getting any breaks from anybody. He can't get back in line, and he's falling back as they go.
Here comes Marlin with a run back on the inside. This is for 4th place. 3 leaders have hooked up. Everybody else still battling.
Whoa, Mike Waltrip just made a move to try to get back in line there and almost got collected moving around there.
That's what's happening. You want to get back in line. You know you got to get back in line, and you force yourself in there sometimes. Sometimes the other guy isn't willing to force.
Dale Earnhardt started in the Wayback Machine. Well, he's come from 18th to 6th.
You can do that here, Mike, because of running side by side, 2 or 3 or 4 wide like they're doing. It helps the guys in the back, really.
The one thing that Earnhardt does, you see him there moving on the inside. He never sits and waits on other people to make his race strategy up. He is a dominant race car driver, and when that hole opens up, he goes for it. He don't wait.
Now they've caught the leader. They're watching from Ernie Irvin. Mac Tools Ford having a look back. That's Jeff Purvis, who was the pole sitter.
Mike, that's the sight I always like when I looked in the mirror and seen everybody. Look at Terry Labonte go into the lead now. He's getting under Mark Martin coming off turn 4.
The FW Windows Chevy led the points early in the season. Labonte, though, not running all of these Busch races, but when he runs, he is a threat. Number 14, Labonte. Second lead change of the day. Joe Nemechek into second, Earnhardt to third, Mike McLaughlin in fourth, just ahead of Mark Martin, the red car there.
You can see Mark Martin giving hand signals there for the guys to get in line and try to catch the lead cars. He's got somebody working with him there. That's Mike Waltrip that's right behind him. Now, they'll run the leaders back down, but if they run side by side, the leaders will check out on them.
Yeah, if everybody had a camera in their car, the fans would not, they would say, how can they drive those cars that fast, that close together with one hand? Because they got one hand stuck up in the air making signals to the guy behind them, and they're holding the steering wheel with the other.
Earnhardt loosens up Mike McLaughlin just a bit. Mike Waltrip's going to go with Earnhardt there. Mark Martin underneath again. 3 wide. Let's go to the pits.
Well, a couple of early race problems for some guys as we watch the leaders. Rodney Combs on pit road. He's got trouble with engines. Rich Bickle has trouble with his engine as well. Also, Johnny Benson Jr. has lost a cylinder, and Tommy Houston thinks he has a tire going down. So 4 early race problems for some of the top contenders in the Busch Series.
Thanks, Randy. Bottom lane went this time.
Yeah, that's Mark Martin. He's very strong. He has some good people with him there. That's Mike Waltrip in second, Sterling Marlin in third, and that's Dale Jarrett right there. That's a real fast lane, and they're moving along quite well.
See, that's what Mark was telling Michael. The 60 car just fell off the pace all at once.
Something's wrong, desperately wrong, with Mark Martin's car. What's the light on the upper left? Is that oil pressure?
Well, the engine's dead, and the red light's on, so it's probably an engine problem, and when the engine dies, the light comes on.
Oh, that's too bad. He really had a good race car here.
Perhaps a dominant car. We'll never know.
Michael should thank him, because Mark told Michael to follow me and I'll take you to the front, and he did.
So it's Mike Waltrip in front of Dale Jarrett. Terry Labonte in third in the white car. Sterling Marlin. Terry. Well, didn't have a lot of room left up there.
They better be glad they painted that thing one coat of paint, because that would have been too close otherwise.
Jarrett left him about the width of a 9EE up there. Look at Mike McLaughlin in that red car. For a fellow who has as little super speedway experience, he's doing a heck of a job.
He is, and he's gotten better and better every week in that car. He started off, he struggled. They even had trouble making races, but he's gotten better and better every week in that car, and he's starting to really show some talent.
That's the red fiddle faddle Chevy right behind them, black number 3 of Earnhardt.
Here we go. They're going to get 3 wide again.
I guarantee
4 wide.
The lead car is enjoying this. Right now, he's getting a little bit of advantage, but the bad news is Dale Earnhardt has moved right in on his back bumper. These 2 guys ought to check out now.
What do you think the record for wide is here? 4 is the most I've ever heard of. Could it be maybe 5 or 6?
Well, we've seen 4 several times already, and this race is not yet 10 laps old.
You know, Mike, but it's a tribute to the equipment and to NASCAR and to the drivers. There's been years past where we couldn't have race cars run that close together without trouble. And the cars look very stable, almost as if they're, you know, they're stuck to the earth tighter than they are on some of the shorter racetracks.
You're right, Darrell. It almost looks too easy.
It does. I think that's what happens to you here, too. It kind of lulls you into trouble.
Through the trial once again, Sterling Marlin with a clear advantage. They break formation, and they're going to put Mike Waltrip is going to squeeze out of the sandwich there.
Ernie Irvin has moved up into second place. He runs very well here. Anytime he comes to Talladega, he's one of the dominant cars.
Don't see much in front of Ernie Irvin right now. All you see is Sterling on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Uncle Mike is in trouble because he's in the middle of those 2 lanes, and that's usually a ticket to the back.
Uncle Mike.
Well, Jessica might be watching, and Sarah, so they'll know who I'm talking about.
Good. 2.8 million viewers, and he's Uncle Mike to 2 of them. We'll just talk to them. It's okay. Here goes Irvin for the lead, and he's going to drag Earnhardt with him.
Yeah, Sterling will end up about 4th or 5th out of this exchange here, maybe 4th.
Glenn Jarrett is with Mark Martin.
Well, and he's standing here looking at this race going on, wishing he were a part of it. Mark, you had an awfully fast car all week, but what happened?
I think we probably broke a piston in the engine. The Winn-Dixie team had me in a great race. Best restrictor plate Busch car I've ever had. That thing was really ran good, handled good. I sure wish we could have run along, along all day, because it was going to be a lot of fun, but we'll just have to get them next time with this thing.
Well, it's been that kind of year for Mark Martin. Last year, he could do no wrong. This year, nothing but frustration. Mike?
Earnhardt for the lead, Glenn. Underneath Ernie Irvin. And that Chevrolet lineup goes right underneath Irvin's Ford.
You said something about McLaughlin a while ago. What a great run. He's in 4th place right now. You see him going into 3rd as we speak. This guy is really hooked up, and he's driving way beyond his time on this racetrack. He's doing a super job.
Yeah, and he had the good sense to jump right back out in that line, too, and not hang on the bottom and lose time. He's doing a great job.
He's in the 34 car behind Earnhardt and Marlin. The outside lane works its way to the front as the Fram Filters 500K is 11 laps old here at Talladega. Super Speedway, 3 cars are trying to break out from the field. It's Ernie Irvin up front, Chad Little, and Derek Cope.
And there's your 3 Fords, Mike.
Yeah. They never line up, one manufacturer against another, do they?
Yeah.
Let's show you what happened, how this came into play. Earnhardt was leading when we went to break.
Yeah, he had the lead here, but Ernie Irvin was coming up on the inside, and Randy LaJoie saw him coming. He said, I'll jump down here in front of Ernie and we'll go by. They only did, and of course they pulled that whole inside lane right past Earnhardt. But then they got down here in the turn, they got real excited. They got about 4 wide down there.
So it sorts out for the moment with Irvin leading Chad Little, Derek Cope, Dale Earnhardt battling along there with LaJoie.
Now that's 2 good ones to battle side by side.
They don't need to do that very long.
No,
though.
they don't.
They'll lose a lot of time to leave cars running side by side.
One of them, though, is the one that's out of line. And right now, that's that Phenaloop car, Randy LaJoie, Chevrolet. There's Schrader coming up with Terry Labonte and Earnhardt. There's 3 Chevys that could hook up and go, and Mike McLaughlin is with them, and Jeff Purvis. A couple of minutes ago, let's show you what happened to Dale Earnhardt while we were away. Left side of your screen.
Oh, he almost got little. That was casual contact that almost ended up in a big wreck right there. They barely touched coming off the corner. But these speeds, the car just turned up. You see them just turn hard left coming off the corner.
They will run back up there sooner or later.
Now, you've seen races where somebody will have a 2-second lead. 2 seconds is the distance from 1st to 20th place right now.
Yeah, this is incredible racing. I mean, it's hard to explain if you're a race fan. I'm a race driver. It's hard for me to explain how we do that.
Trouble on Randy LaJoie, left side. Glenn is there. Glenn?
Well, Mike, he's got some damage to the left side of the car where he got into somebody there. So they have changed the left side tires. Evidently, they thought that the left rear was going down. They're putting fuel in it. I'm not sure what lap are we on. It could be a, oh, I see now. Yeah, they've got a fender in on that tire. That's the problem. There is a fender in on the left side tire. He had to come in and get that change. You do not want a tire to blow out here. Now they're holding him because he came down pit road too fast.
Oh, he got into Earnhardt.
Yes, he did.
Incident we just saw. Let's check with Randy.
Well, guys, a significant problem on Kenny Schrader's car. In the cowl area, in between the hood and the windshield, that's where the air is taken into the air filter there. Well, he's had a piece of the hood fly off the car. A little bit of an aftermarket place. Bottom line is NASCAR is asking them to replace it. They want to do it under caution. NASCAR saying you have to do it on the very first pit stop. They're afraid they're going to lose a lap, so a significant problem for Schrader.
Schrader's number 52, the AC Delco Chevy, and right behind him, McLaughlin in 34, and Chad Little.
NASCAR is very sensitive about the air intake of these engines. I mean, with the restrictor plate, it just takes something like that to alter the flow into the engine, make you have an advantage.
Derek Cope trying to wrestle the lead away here coming off turn 4. I don't think Ernie's going to let him have it, though. See, they're going off that corner there, and right behind them, Dale Earnhardt, and they're just going right on by. They haven't made that move now.
No. Randy LaJoy back in the race. Kenny Wallace is on pit road, the number 5 man of the Busch Series points. Making an early pit stop here. 40 laps complete of 117.
Well, the cars now start to go through a little bit of a transition. They'll go from maybe a little tight to just a little bit loose, getting a little tire wear, fuel burning off. The car will go through just a little bit change, and the driver has to be aware of that so that that tight racing they've been doing won't get himself in trouble.
Here comes Purvis, country time number 51. And Sterling Marlin's going to go with him. They split. Derek Cope who goes back.
Look at Jeff Purvis there moving on the inside of Irvin, trying to take the number 1 spot away. Just behind him is Sterling Marlin, Earnhardt on the outside.
You know, Purvis was on the pole by
caution.
2 or 3 tenths.
Harold Yellow's waving. And there's the reason why.
Looks like Jason Keller might have had engine trouble. He was having a great run.
First caution of the day comes out at lap 41.
Ooh. And I tell you what, when you're right behind him, you get a windshield full of oil when that happens.
Pit stops under caution here at Talladega as you watch Ernie Irvin in the upper left and Jeff Purvis in the lower left, and everybody else try to fight for a pit stall, and there's one car there getting blocked in.
They're parallel. I don't know. They can't get in their pit stall. Earnhardt, is that Earnhardt? No, that's the 99 car. He's turned sideways in his pit. What happened was they put a lot of stage dry down for Keller's blown engine into the pit there, and I think it's really confused matters.
Well, it's going to be Sterling Marlin coming out first, and then Purvis, followed by Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, and Mike McLaughlin. Here's Randy.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're having an awful time getting this piece attached to Kenny Schrader's car. You know, they measured it and they wanted to get it right, but if this thing is off by 1/8 of an inch, it could really hurt Schrader's performance on the racetrack. Obviously, he's going to go out last car on the lead lap right now, but they're having a difficult time, but they probably won't lose a lap.
NASCAR limits the amount of square-inch area that air can enter there at the base of the windshield and the cowl to get into the carburetor, so we'll be right back.
500K on TNN is brought to you by Split Fire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more till you use it.
Sterling Marlin at the front of the pack, 6 through 10, Mike McLaughlin, Derek Cope, Ernie Irvin, Harry Gann is up to 9th, and Larry Pearson 10th, ahead of Ricky Craven, Mike Wallace, Dennis Setzer, Chad Little, and David Green. That's the top 15. As we go back to green, 29 cars on the lead lap. Ken Schrader is the last of those.
Whatever Purvis is having a problem with, the rest of them better hopefully get the same thing, because he stayed up near the front all day. There's Earnhardt moving right up behind him there, but I don't see anything wrong with Purvis' car at all. If that rag's doing anything, it's not hurting.
I don't see that either.
Darrell, on a 2-wide restart with lap cars, is this a good chance for the front pack to hook up and break away?
Well, it could be, but I think what we're going to see here is back to that original start of racing that we had, where they're going to be 3 and 4 wide again.
Jarrett, the yellow car, the two-wheel Chevy way up high, tacks on to Randy LaJoy. Harry Gann in the green car, Manheim Auction Chevy.
Boy, Harry pulled himself up. He was about a half lap down before they called him.
Up into the top 10 comes Gann. Chad Little down to the bottom again, by himself again.
Boy, Gann needs to get by LaJoy there and get himself up in line with these cars that are running for the lead. I think Gant has the race cars capable of running with them. As long as they run side by side, they won't be any front cars.
Yeah, Randy LaJoy, I mean, he's trying to get a lap back. He went down to a lap there. Problem he had, and so he's going to be the wild card in all this.
You see Harry there in the middle of the... You remember this, Mark, Darrell. You don't want to get in that middle lane. Ooh, Rodney Combs, very close to Harry Gant coming up through there.
Is that Rodney's show car? It's the one with one sponsor. French's on one side and Black Flag on the other. That's how they did the show car. They said each race car was going to carry one or the other, but I think that may be the show car.
Well, that's by far a better looking car when they have one color or the other.
Right.
Yeah, there's Purvis with the rag in the air cleaner there, running second, pulling away from Dale Earnhardt. I don't see a lot wrong with it. Oh, it's blown out, I understand. I just got a report that it has blown away, so he's back in the fight here. He wasn't too bad off.
I don't know how they ever figured out I had a rag in the first place.
Here comes Derek Cope on the outside.
That's Ernie Irvin we're riding with there. He's up beside Derek Cope right there. Got a lot of help on the inside. If you can keep that car in front of you, see Earnhardt on the bottom there. If Earnhardt don't move up, you got a lot of people to draft with.
All right, now look down at Irvin's windshield. You see that slot? That's the cowl opening where the engine gets its air. They said that Jeff Purvis could see a bit of that rag flapping from the cowl opening, and then finally it blew away.
Boy, Chad Little's car is absolutely a rocket ship. He just went to the bottom and just went right up to second place there.
Yeah, and it seemed to be a little bit better on fresh tires too, buddy, because he was doing that early in the race.
Riding with Ernie Irvin, Derek Cope to the left of your screen, Terry Labonte pulling up in a tight draft. Chad Little was 11th 1 lap ago.
See Mike Wallace there getting by Earnhardt. Earnhardt's in that middle lane. You don't usually see him get in that predicament right there, but he's in trouble right now until he gets somebody to help him a little bit.
Earnhardt and Harry Gant.
He's got his blinker on right now, but it just nobody let him in.
Well, as we said that, he moved over into the lower lane there, so he's back in line. He'll move right on back up again.
Back across the stripe. 20 cars in this lead draft.
Mike, one thing you have to hope right here is that somebody does not make the mistake of hooking the car up towards the front there, because every car from second place back would be involved. If one car crosses up, everybody's just along for the ride then.
We've seen that happen here a couple of times, and it's not a pretty sight.
You're with Ricky Craven in the midst of that pack, and he's got something on his windshield.
Yeah, that's a little bit of oil and a little glare off everything around it. He's running quite well. Ricky's getting a lot of experience right now. As all of those Grand National drivers are. You notice the Winston Cup drivers are pretty much up front, but they're gaining a lot of experience here. And if you beat an Earnhardt or people like that, you really feel good about yourself.
Yeah, you do. And, of course, Ricky is in the point battle here. He's second place and just a few points out of first, and he's having a good run. I know it'll be important to be a big finish.
Was about 7th. He's going to lose a spot or two as Earnhardt battles Derek Cope. Mike Wallace up there. Barry Owens' car, the FDP brake Chevy.
I think Mike Wallace might be just on the verge of being really, really good in this sport, because he's winning on the Busch Grand National Circuit now, and you see him moving in here. He has a lot of patience, a lot of car control. This boy's going to be heard from, I guarantee you.
Something happened to Derek Cope when he just slid up the racetrack. Now Purvis has to crank it hard left as he gets 3 wide coming in the tri-oval here with Schrader. And Cope looks like Cope is drifting back just a little bit.
Well, you never know.
Well, I can see right there, they're bumping just a little bit there. That's kind of how do you do. I'm not going to give any to you. You see how close they're running there. They're just about to become a little too friendly, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's getting out of control. Whoa. That's right on the verge of getting out of control. It's one thing to do it once. It's something else to do it twice. But it's something that's really when you do it 4 wide. This is hard to watch.
Folks, do not try this at home.
No, do not try this at home.
This is at 190 miles an hour.
You cannot get this many cars in the driveway at once.
These cars are running faster under green in a pack than the pole speed.
Yeah, they are. They average much faster than they qualify.
See Ricky Craven's car there. One thing he's really smart at, he sets his car up. You never see him out of control. The car always works well. And that's what's going to take him to stardom as far as the Winston Cup ride when he finally moves up.
No, he's a smart young man.
58 laps complete here as Mike Wallace makes a move down on the low side, and 6 cars try and break away from the field.
Coverage of the Fram Filters 500K on TNN is brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later.
Welcome back to Talladega. We're just past halfway. I'm Mike Joy with Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, Randy Pemberton. That 6-car breakaway has gone away. As you can see, the pack is all back together once again. Marlin the leader, Earnhardt in second, Morgan Shepherd in third, and Jim Bound with the cars in the garage area. Here's your Stanley mid-race report, brought to you by Stanley Works in New Britain, Connecticut for 150 years. Stanley's been making tools and specialty hardware. 9 leaders, 19 lead changes. 9 leaders is a record for this race. They had 24 lead changes last year. That's the record. 5 cars out of the race. Only 1 caution for 5 laps. We may break the record speed for 500 kilometers here, set by Ernie Irvin in 1992 at 158 miles an hour.
Well, Mike, this is hard work. Not very many cautions, and the mental stress is a big thing because they run so close together, and the cars are moving around the way they do. And you got to pay such close attention, constantly. It's hard work mentally.
Looks like Jeff Purvis up there in that outer lane. It's kind of determining the flow of this race at the moment because the cars on the bottom lane are moving up and trying to get up with those leaders. In the top lane right now, it's a little tough sledding.
Yeah, if you get in the, you know, it's the same old deal. If you get in the wrong line here, you go back. You get in the right when you go forward.
Buddy, look at the back there of Jeff Purvis's car. That thing looks like it's really dancing now.
Yeah, I was watching him. He's working pretty hard. This race car is a little bit on the loose side, and he's really having to fight that thing to keep the back end straight on it.
Yeah, he and Chad Little got, you know, they kind of banged into each other earlier, and when they did, I think that's because Purvis's car is just getting loose. Been out there a while on those tires.
Let's show you this a bit earlier. Look at the top of the screen.
Whoa, I'm going to tell you what. That was a wreck. Nobody just didn't hit anything.
Sterling Marlin edges ahead. Here comes Earnhardt and Larry Pearson and Mike Wallace, all Chevrolets, up against Morgan Shepherd's Ford on the outside.
Morgan's not giving up anything there. He's right on the outside of Earnhardt. He's trying to hold that spot. He does not want to get behind about 8 or 10 cars and have to work his way all the way back up to the front again.
But we need to give a call to Pearson. There he is back up there again, and there's Mike Wallace, and we were talking about Busch regulars, and there they are right there at the front right now. You got a whole line of them with Ricky Craven and Mike Wallace and Larry Pearson. They're all doing a real good job of staying right here near the front.
Larry Pearson, they're running in the top 5. Was asked, how do you adjust your driving strategy to run here at Talladega?
You can't be aggressive. I mean, as far as getting up beside somebody and rubbing fenders and things like that, you can't do that here because, you know, the slightest touch can send somebody around and, you know, it can hurt them pretty bad here, and you really don't want to do that. But, you know, that's the way it's always been at Talladega and Daytona, and I assume that's the way it always will be.
Lots of Larry Pearson as he drafts off Earnhardt and Sterling Marlin.
Sounds just like his father then. That was his father. You'd race him all day long and say, I hadn't seen old Dave in 20, 30 laps, and all of a sudden you look up in front of him, there he'd be.
Yeah, one of the greatest.
Single file, the draft goes right now, about 8 places, and on back. That should fit up pretty well. There's Purvis at the bottom with Terry Lamont, Craven, and Morgan Shepherd. Kenny Schrader in that pack.
You know, Mike, that second group there is just as fast as the front bunch, but they go up, they take the lead, they get in the wrong lane, they go all the way back to 15th and 20th, and they start climbing that ladder again, trying to get back up to the top.
Yeah, that's the difference in some of the Busch guys and maybe some of the Cup guys. The experience the Busch guys have, they can't seem to stay at the front. The Cup guys can.
To to the outside lane. I think Terry's got a very good race car. Mike Wallace moving up there on Pearson on the inside.
A little race right there in the front. Ernie wants to get on around Mike. He's tried him down the back straightaway, and Mike's car is pretty strong because he's holding his own down on that inside by himself.
Still a good ways to go. 74 of 117 laps are complete.
He was holding his own.
Still a very tight pack here for the lead at Talladega. We'll be right back after this. Raven going to try to coast it back around to pit road.
Well, yeah, I think he's got enough speed to make it back, but that's a long ride. If there is something they can fix on that thing, he's way up in the points. I know he's going, oh, man, this is a long ride here.
Well, he just wanted to come here today and run the whole race and get some experience. He was doing a great job, and I know right now he's thinking about points. He's saying, let's see, how many points am I going to lose today?
John Munson is Ricky Craven's crew chief. Glenn's with him.
Look at Tracy Wilson.
Glenn?
Okay, John, the car shut off. What happened to it?
It seems that we've had some engine trouble. The car was running really good. He was doing a heck of a job in the draft. I mean, Ricky said he learned a lot, and we've got a lot of help from Jeff Gordon and a lot of good people. And it's a shame. We wanted to do real well here for DuPont and for everybody, and it just didn't work out.
2 weeks in a row, they've had bad luck.
Thanks, Glenn. 25th lead change of the day. New record. It's a record for this race, and it's Tracy Leslie out front.
Well, Tracy's just been phenomenal all day. His car is running well. I think he's probably the most underestimated race car driver of all time because he always gets up near the front on major speedways, has a good race car, no luck.
He's the 11th different leader of this race.
Had a good run here last year. Of course, he had a little problem over on the back, I guess, late in the race. But whoa, did you see Ernie and Schrader talking about a little problem?
Well, you're watching from Ernie. Where's Schrader? I think he's on the outside there with Terry Labonte.
That can happen very easily. A guy get that far on the outside of you, you just don't know he's there.
You see the lens on that camera, how dirty it is. You have the advantage with that camera to take that and put a fresh, new piece of cellophane up there where you can see through the windshield. It's just like that lens is. Pretty hard to see sometimes.
Ernie, you noticed Ernie ran up behind Larry Pearson there. He elected not to make it 3 wide going into turn 1 there, which was a good move on Ernie's part. Pearson was alongside of Earnhardt and could have forced him right into it.
You're riding with Irvin. That's Schrader up along the outside, the AC Delco car.
I think Schrader's got a little tired of running back in the group there. He's starting to do some pretty wild things. He made it 3 wide and passed right up in the 4th lane a second ago to take his position and move up in the top 6.
Yeah, I believe somebody gave Schrader a wake-up call.
83 laps, 34 to go.
Well, now we see who's really strong because you have Purvis, the pole setter, on the outside there. He looks like he pushed it up a little bit there.
I think he backed up, buddy. He's loose. I think he just backed it up the hill.
Yeah. We know that Sterling Marlin's strong, but I guarantee you right behind him, that's Earnhardt, you have Morgan Shepherd, and that's Pearson just behind him. Pearson's been strong all day. He's dropped back to 10th one time, running back up to 4th. Very strong race car.
'86 laps complete. Here comes the lead pack, and they keep shuffling it up here at the world's fastest speedway. Sterling Marlin, Dale Earnhardt, Morgan Shepherd, Larry Pearson, Ernie Irvin, the top 5. Chad Little in 6th. Jeff Purvis in 7th. Kenny Schrader is there. Tracy Leslie, Terry Labonte, Joe Nemechek, Mike Wallace, Mike McLaughlin, Tim Fedewa, Hermie Sadler, Dale Fishline in his first ever Busch race, and Harry Gant. That's the pack.
Well, they're racing too, and I tell you, that 51 car down on the inside, he has got some horsepower.
He does that.
Of course, he got his hands full too.
Well, he'll check it out for tough right here underneath. That car is really loose. When you pass a car on the inside like that, it jerks back in around.
We need a hand cam on him.
But he's so fast, he didn't have to run side by side very long.
No, he's got a lot of straightaway speed, and that makes me think that car is running with the absolute minimum amount of speed. The way it moves around in traffic and as fast as it is, I believe that's what makes that car fast.
That, I believe, is a Runt Pittman engine in Purvis's car. They get a lot of their equipment from the Morgan McClure shop.
That's the other reason.
Yeah, right.
Let's check with Randy.
Well, I'll tell you, a lap or two ago, Larry Pearson was running fourth up and down pit road. Crew chiefs are talking to crew chiefs. They're running 10 pits away, trying to find out when they're going to pit, who they're going to hook up with, so they can make sure that they get back out running in the draft. It's been unbelievable. Crew chiefs are just blowing by me on pit road, trying to figure out. There's also a slight problem on Kenny Schrader's car. He's losing fuel pressure, but it looks like we've got 3 cars pitting on like lap 92. The 14 car, Labonte, McLaughlin, and Pearson, they're electing it for lap 92 right now, but we'll see. That could change. Glenn Jarrett?
Well, Randy, down here in Sterling Marlin's pit, they're telling me somewhere around lap 95. All the guys I've talked to have said somewhere between lap 90 and 95. That's the window they need to finish the race on with only 1 can of fuel. If they have to stop under green, they all only want to use 1 dump can. 90 to 95 is when they're going to have to do it. We should see them real soon.
Thanks, Glenn.
The car moved real slow down the back there. I'm not sure who it was, but
I believe that's Robert Presley.
Is it Robert?
He said he had drifted way back. Let's add to the cars out of the race: Tommy Houston, Randy Porter, Dale Jarrett, Jason Keller, and Ricky Craven are out of the show. 32 cars are running. 23 of those are on the lead lap. Derek Cope has dropped to the tail end of the lead lap. He has dropped the zone.
Darrell, Jeff Purvis there, you see that, well, as we said, that it looked like it was going to make a little contact with Earnhardt there, but Jeff Purvis's car, watch him go down towards the number 1 corner. This race car is
Trouble,
so
Harry
fast.
Gant. Excuse me, buddy, Harry Gant. A lot of smoke from his number 7, and he cuts off the Mannheim Auctions car as he rolls down toward turn number 1. Got way down to the bottom. Here comes Purvis. He wants the lead from Sterling Marlin.
He's awful strong, but so is the 4 car on the outside. They'll probably run side by side down in the corner, and we'll find out which lane is the fastest when they get to the corner down there.
Earnhardt lined up with Purvis. And up top, Sterling Marlin with the man you're riding with, Ernie Irvin.
Ooh, boy, that 51 car is a loose car. That makes it fast. If he can hang on to that race car with it that loose, it doesn't bog the engine down, and he can go fast. He just drove her to the front, proving that it is a fast race car.
Back to complete lap 91. Fuel stops under green. Should begin next lap.
This is Ernie Irvin's car here. This is a great shot. This is what it looks like to a driver. When you go down in the corner here, you notice all that racetrack, they're only using like 2 or 3 lanes. They're never up in that 4th lane. So when you get up there, you normally are in trouble.
Jeff Purvis has just led his first official Busch Series lap in 17 starts.
See Derek Cope on the inside there. He's experiencing trouble now.
And you know, Purvis, he set on pole by better than 3/10 over Sterling Marlin. So that in itself proves that he has a very fast race.
I think the leaders are coming in as we speak right now. I see Purvis dropping off. You notice a lot of these guys are coming together.
They're grouping up. Here they go.
And Marlin will lead them in. He went past Purvis and Ernie Irvin. Quite a group of them coming in here. And there's Gant coasting in.
Now, Mike, that's not monkey see, monkey do. What they're trying to do is all the fast cars stop together, go back out in that wad where they can get away from all the other cars when they go back out of the pit. So,
yeah, even doing it this way, we got a problem with the 4 car. You know.
Here's Glenn.
Sterling Marlin brought it in, as I said, 1 can of fuel, and he's away. No tire changes, no adjustments, and Purvis beats him out.
They were putting lug nuts on the right rear of the 4 car.
Must have been a miscue as to whether or not they would change tires.
I bet it was.
That's probably what they did, just took the lugs off, expecting to change the right rear, and the guy said, no tire change, just fuel, and the guy had to run them back up.
Yeah.
Well, this crowd of cars has made a stop. We'll sort out who's leading and who's not just as soon as we come.
Get ready for the season.
Here's your leader, Tim Fedowa, with a new sponsor on his car, Rust-Oleum Pure Strength Cleaner, is at the front of the field, and the man who's right behind him, what a story here, Dale Fishline. And at number 70 is Dave Marcus as Winston Cup crew chief. It's his first ever Busch Grand National race. He's only started 4 ARCA Super Speedway races, with 11th as his best finish, and he's running in 2nd place here.
Ernie Irvin's experienced some kind of trouble. He's slowing down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he came by here and he just dropped to the bottom of the racetrack, so I think he may have something wrong with the engine in the car.
And Morgan Shepherd has cut down a tire. There is Irvin coasting around. Mike Wallace goes past.
Mike, you know, these restrictor plate engines, when you come into the pit and out of the pit, they go through a cycle where they run lean. And if if you make a pit stop and you don't get back up to speed just like you should, it'll burn a piston in one of these things.
Irvin coasting around. Also, Elton Sawyer, the Ford Credit Ford, given a black flag, stop and go penalty for leaving the pits too fast under his green flag stop. Let's go back and find the pack that made pit stops earlier, racing along just like they were leading this thing. And it was 4 of them all tied together, and now that pack is all closed back up.
Larry Pearson led about 4 or 5 of these guys from about a quarter of a mile back, and they have run the leaders down. You see Larry Pearson there on the inside, second place there. He absolutely is running super good, but he's in the middle of that line. Not the place to be.
Morgan Shepherd in the 21 is a lap down among this group.
Oh, did he stop and change tires?
Cut a tire. Keep in mind, this pack is not leading this race. They're running third on back.
It's like that old song, though, it's just a matter of time. When these other guys stop, that will be your race lead fight right there.
17 laps to go.
Surely no one goes all the way on fuel.
Well, I've seen you do it at Daytona.
Surely can't be done.
Of all people who would know for sure, Darrell Walter would be the man I'd ask.
That is right on the edge of being unrealistic.
You've been on that edge. This pack trails the 2 leaders now by 28 seconds. Tim Fito at the front, Dale Fishline in second. They last pitted at lap 42.
I'd say it's time for some high tests.
Caution is out, and that will be quite a break for Fito and Fishline. There is debris in the back straightaway, so they will get to make a pit stop with the leaders and should be with the lead pack when they come back out.
Hey, it's good for them and it's not good for them. The other guys may not stop. They may stay out if they can go the rest of the way. And these guys will find themselves at the tail end of all the cars that have stopped. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
But they get a moment in the sun and lead a bunch of laps at Talladega.
Buddy, that's the way I do it.
Good luck.
You got whatever you got going for you. That on any particular day, if it's fuel mileage, you got to use it.
Now, Steve Grissom there was trying to get within a lap of the leader, although he will pit. He has just gone 2 laps down to Tim Fedor. Bobby Dotter is 3 laps down. See if pit road is open as they come by, or if they'll have to come around again. 101 laps complete, and we have 16 to go. These cars have been on the track for 59 laps, and they'll have to make one more circuit before they're able to pit. We'll be right back.
For more information about Featherlight trailers, call 1-800-800-1230. Featherlight is the official trailer of NASCAR.
It was the best of days for Tim Fedor, but caution has come out on the back straightaway for a tailpipe that we believe is off Tracy Leslie's car. And Fedor, after he got down to caution flag speed and went into turn 1, appears to have run out of fuel.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it back around to the pits, but I believe he'll be overlapped before he gets there.
Mike was talking just a second ago about Fedor. Under speed, all the fuel would be over where the pickup is, but when he slowed down and went into the banks, I'm sure he'd lost all fuel pressure and the car just run out of fuel.
Yeah, well, we're normally talking about gallons, and now we're talking about ounces, so not a lot of fuel to pick up, and he's motioning for him to push him in. Come on, guys, help me, please.
Darrell, that seems like it takes 4 hours for that thing to get out there. I've had that happen before.
Now, why wouldn't you use a pickup in both sides of the fuel cell, left and right, like on a road course car?
Well, a lot of the cars do have it in the middle, Mike. They have a box in the middle with flapper doors, and that way it catches fuel when it's moving across the cell from either side. Very few cars nowadays have just a single pickup. They have a central pickup.
But if it was in the left rear, if they had a small pickup in the left rear, he wouldn't have done that. When the fuel went to the left side.
Fuel cell can hold 22 gallons. The key is getting it all to the carburetor. We'll be right back.
Coverage of smooth Busch beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR.
Well, Tim Fedewa had a lengthy pit stop. He had to be pushed in by the wrecker to get to his pit, and is now back out on the speedway after fuel. But let's go to Glenn to recap that stop.
Well, Mike, when he brought the car in, obviously it was coasting, not running of its own speed. They had to put some ether in it to fire it up. It took him 4 or 5 times to get the car started. They pushed him off. As you can see, they were pushing him out of the pits, trying to get the thing to fire up. The ether finally caused the thing to take to fire up. They pushed him out of the pit, but by the time he got to the end of pit road, the cars on the racetrack had already passed him by. NASCAR felt that they had passed him. He had lost a lap, so they had to stop him at the end of pit road. He did lose a lap. A lot of long faces down here, but boy, he had a great run going.
You saw the official there with the what we call a lollipop sign. It's a stop or go sign, and those cars come around and get lined up for the restart, which is going to happen in a lap. You'll see on the outside wall as Fedewa moves up here that there is a line on the outside wall that official at the end of pit road has to look at, and when the pace car gets to that line on the outside wall, he has to turn that stop sign. There's no judgment call involved. He has to turn it, and there's where he stands and would hold that car for the pack to come by, and that's what happened to Tim.
Darrell, you made a very interesting observation that Fedewa did not come in because the pit road was closed. Would you explain a little bit about that?
Well, of course, the deal is you don't come in the pit when the pit road is closed. But if you do, it's not that serious of a penalty. It's only go to the end of the longest line, which may be the lap down line or maybe the cars on the lead lap line. But for him, he could have come in, took the fuel, not lost the lap, went to the end of the longest line, and he'd be in great shape right now.
Take the penalty and still be on the lead lap. Let's check with Randy.
Notes down here. I'm getting ready to talk to my brother Ryan, who's Larry Pearson's crew chief. 52 team just handed us a note. Want to know if they can run with you. What's the story? They run better with you guys behind or in front?
We run pretty good with somebody tucked up right behind us, but it's really what partner you're with. We're looking for a good dancing partner right now, so we're trying to figure out who we're going to run with. We saw the 3-car, and those guys, they're really stout, so we don't know who we're going to work with yet.
You guys are conferring a lot about fuel, Ryan. You only got one can of fuel on that last stop. Can you guys make it all the way on that one can?
Yeah, we can make it all the way. We're just trying to be real conservative here, make sure we don't waste any gas.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
12 laps to go. The 11 when they come around for the restart. Point leader David Green is on the lead lap. He is 12th. Point standing runner-up Ricky Craven is in the garage. Hermie Sadler came in here 3rd in the points. He's running 10th right now. Bobby Dotter is in 24th, 2 laps down. He was the 4th place point man, and Kenny Wallace is 3 laps down in 26th. That completes the top 5 in points coming into this race. It's Sterling Marlin at the front, Jeff Purvis, Kenny Schrader, Dale Earnhardt, Larry Pearson, Tracy Leslie, Joe Nemechek, and Terry Labonte, the top 8. Then Chad Little, Hermie Sadler, Mike McLaughlin, David Green, Mike Wallace, Dale Fishline, and at the tail end of the lead lap is the 79 of Dave Resendiz. He is on the tail end of the lead lap in 15th position as we get ready to restart.
Well, those guys really didn't give the leaders the courtesy that they deserved. Here late in the race particularly, they need to let those guys go.
Yeah, the guys that are racing for first place had to line up behind 2 lap cars there, and it really messed up the start here. Now everybody's trying to sort it out and get back up in front where they belong before it leaves.
Well, the 0 of Mike Garvey was also at the tail end of the lead lap, so they are lead lap cars. They were entitled to start there, but now Sterling Marlin has put them a lap down, and here comes the rest of the pack. It's a dogfight again.
Just behind Sterling there, it's Fedewa. I know he's wishing he was back in the lead lap again right now because he seems to have a very good race car. Earnhardt's going to do everything he can now to get up with Sterling.
3 wide as they come up through turns 3 and 4. Morgan Shepherd in that pack is 1 lap down.
Sterling will be a factor in the outcome of this race. I'm not sure where, but he's got a good car. He's led this thing more than anybody else, and he's going to be a factor in the outcome of this race.
10 laps to go as they come to start finish. Look at Schrader and Purvis trying to find some racing room, some clear room to get up with those leaders.
Okay, Mike, Darrell, no more friends. This is it.
Right.
It's all on the table now, guys. There will be no friends. Everybody makes a move now. It'll count.
I like what Pemberton said there in his interview. We're looking for someone who's trying to decide who we're going to go with. I don't think so. You go with whoever will go with you or whoever looks like the best shot.
Leslie just out of the frame there, just behind LaJoy. I know he's wishing he could get up there, but Darrell noticed he has a little bit of a problem with tailpipe on the car, and I don't think he has the power to get up there. But this car coming up there, Kenny Schrader, Purvis, these guys have a lot of race car. If they can get up there, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, well, not sad, everybody's racing for the best finish they can get. That's the name of the game. But when lap cars are a factor in the last 10 laps of a race, like they were on the restart, and now they're in the hunt here for the finish, it's frustrating to the drivers that are behind them, and they can't just pull over and let it go. But it's really frustrating.
See that graphic on the board. The highest placed Ford in this field right now is Chad Little in 8th place. Robert Presley down on the bottom. Here comes Little.
Well, I'm not sure that Chad Little don't have the fastest race car in the whole field, but he just cannot get in the position he needs to go up to the front.
He just don't have enough time, buddy. Right now, if things stay the way they are, it's going to be a shootout between Dale and Fram.
I wonder, Darrell, if they keep leaving Chad Little the bottom, he's really been able to rocket into turn 1 right down on the apron.
Well, he might be able to get some help, but right now it's just every man for himself, and it's hard to get anything going. You're protecting whatever position you're in.
Back to turn 1. 6 laps to go.
What he's decided to do right now is draft off the 20 car there, and I'm not sure that Chad Little, if he just gets any kind of break at all, he's got plenty of time in mind.
Little breaks out of line with Schrader. He spends the lap car of Randy LaJoie.
He's doing it the right way. I mean, he's showing a lot of patience. He's getting one car at a time, and buddy, you're probably right.
Well, you see, Schrader's right behind him. If Schrader can buckle up here, he's got as fast a car as Earnhardt. You see him go by the 21 car there, Morgan Shepherd.
Well, I'm glad they got the 20 car and the 21 car both used letting those guys go. They used their head and got out of the way when it didn't hurt anybody.
Right. 5 laps to go. Single file among the front 4.
That kind of pink-looking car there, running about 6th place. That's the pole setter, Jeff Purvis. We know he has a lot of straightaway speed. If he get hooked up with Schrader or any of those guys, he has a car potentially that could win the race also.
Here comes Little again, back down on the bottom in the Bayer Select Ford.
But where's his help?
He doesn't need anything.
I don't think he can get the job done like that.
That just cost him right there.
That ain't going to get the job done. All that's going to do is...
trouble right now.
If Purvis would fall down there with him, I mean, then if they only knew what we knew. But
yeah, that's when you'd like to just get in there with him to help him just a little bit, because he needs to get in the line. He's dropping back right now. He's all the way back to 4th, now 5th. You see him going back. Purvis is not going to let him in.
It's almost like every one of those cars in the top lane's got a bow tie on the front and back bumper. There's that one poor little blue oval Ford down on the bottom, and now it looks like Shepherd's going to help him. I don't know how much help that will be now. He had one good shot and almost got there.
Yeah, you can't do it by yourself.
That's the end-car camera of Garvey there down the back straightaway. That gives you a good idea what that back straightaway looks like. It looks like a landing field when you go down through there. Then you run into these banks like the side of a building.
Right now, Sterling is thinking, I can get away from these guys if he can. All he's doing is making it easier for them to pass him. The further away he gets from Dale right now, the easier for Dale to pass him, because it gives him the momentum to slingshot by him.
You see Purvis moving up on the inside there, getting by Tracy Leslie to move up another spot. He's now in 4th.
All right, 3 laps to go. Who do you like?
I like them all, man. That's a nice part of being up here. They're all my friends. I pull for every one of them.
Well, I go with Dale. I mean, he's right where he needs to be. I told you all that he sits there in 2nd place, 3rd place.
Oh, he and Schrader get together.
You see Purvis going on the outside now. Whoa. Dale's in trouble there in the middle part of that race.
I don't go with Dale anymore.
Here comes Terry Labonte in 14 on the bottom, but it is Schrader who has made the move up to 2nd, right behind Sterling Marlin now.
I think I said earlier today, you can never count out the ice. 14 car Terry Labonte is as tough as they come.
Boy, how many more laps we got to go here?
2. Right about now. 2 laps to go.
Well, I don't know. I still... Earnhardt has a unique way of finding somebody that'll do something that'll help him. I don't know how he does it.
Give me the 2nd place car with a lap to go. I think that's the spot.
It's got to... Sterling should win it if things go forward.
Darrell, you won it for the last lap. I have to lead, but right now it's their position to try to get into. I think Schrader is going to get by them. There goes Terry Labonte with him. He makes a big opening there. You notice the 4 car dropping way back.
Something happened there with Sterling. They just shot by him on the bottom.
The draft does that. When two cars go by, it absolutely throws up a wall there, just like running into a water wall.
So Schrader's in the front, and Labonte, ooh, look at Earnhardt, almost to the grass as Purvis works Sterling Marlin down the racetrack.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Earnhardt was almost in the grass. White flag, last lap. Schrader and Labonte will slug it out for the lead. Look at this fight for third. Earnhardt has it. Marlin wants two-car breakaway by 5 car lengths.
It ain't over, boys. I'm telling you, these two guys in front are setting ducks.
Mike, if this was Daytona, it would make you move down the back straightaway, but the real place to make you move here is down the front straightaway, because the start-finish line is almost going into turn 1.
Murray Pearson there battles Tracy Leslie, but up front.
See, Dale and Sterling are coming at a high. They're much quicker than the two cars in front. They're going to have a shot at them right here in the trial. And Dale,
there he is.
Somebody's going to have to block him, or he's going to be right here.
Earnhardt pulling up on Labonte. Schrader takes it down. Labonte kind of pinned at the bottom, comes back up. Kenny Schrader's going to lead him. Here comes Earnhardt, and 3 abreast per second. Give second to Labonte. I believe Earnhardt is third by inches, and Marlin fourth. Purvis fifth. Kenny Schrader gets his second career win in the Busch Series and his first since September 1989 at Dover.
Man, that don't get no better than that.
It don't. That's a great finish, and you can tell, folks, we know all about what we're talking about.
Now, they were speculating at home right along with you.
Well, even I've been there, and I know it's kind of like you're never sure until you get that. This part, like Buddy said, the start-finish line is so far down here, it's hard to really know who's going to win this thing. I don't know who thought that up. They may say it was a sale ticket, but it's been a driver's nightmare. I've lost it by inches right there.
Yeah, if you went by car length here, it's a landslide.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yes.
There's a happy young man right there. He works hard. It's one of the hardest working guys I know. That's
Tim Cahoon?
Yeah.
Yep. Randy's with him.
I was with him, guys. They just gave him a huge dose of Gatorade. This guy's a happy young man. He can't see anything. We're going to get him over here. Tim, congratulations. You had a heck of a race car. Kenny did a good job for you.
Yeah, I got to say thanks to AC Delco people, Ron Hunter for the motor. We went from worst to first. Everything went good. The boys did a good job. I just want to say hi to some of my friends in Chicago and Pennsylvania that were watching. I hope we put on a good show for you. It was a lot of fun on this end. All right.
Schrader the winner, Labonte second, Earnhardt, Purvis, Marlin, unofficially the top 5, Hermie Sadler, Chad Little, Mike McLaughlin, Mike Wallace, Joe Nemechek. The top 10 unofficially. We'll be right back to meet the winner.
Hey, you know my crew spends hundreds of hours building those 5,000 horsepower motors. I can explode one in 5 seconds. And when that happens, nobody eats. That's why my guys won't run anything but Fram filters. You know, Fram gets the nasty stuff out of the oil, so I can go to the other end with my candles lit. And you know, that's in about 5 seconds, nearly 300 miles an hour. You can look at these guys and see they eat pretty near every day. There's only one beer with pure refreshment written all over it. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft and MGD Light. Why so many people are getting out of the old and into the cold.
Dakota Sport V6 has more. More horsepower, more shoulder room, more hip room, and more cargo room than a comparable Ford Ranger or Chevy S10. But you don't have to put everything you've got into it. Dakota Sport V6. A little bigger, a lot better. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Have you ever seen anything more amazing than Little Caesar's Italian sausage pizzas? Give my regard to Broadway.
Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there.
No. Italian sausage pizza, loaded with sausage, green peppers, and onions. The newest from the whole menu of Little Caesars Pleasers. Any two for $9.98, product guarantee.
Pizza.
Or one for $5.99.
Pizza.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Fram Filters 500K on TNN has been brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later.
Welcome back to Talladega. Kenny Schrader has won a stunner here at Talladega, taking the lead from Sterling Marlin with a lap to go. We're going to go down to Victory Lane, where Glenn Jarrett's setting up there to talk to Schrader. Maybe a brief ceremony, as he's got to practice his Winston Cup car for the Die Hard 500 tomorrow. To Victory Lane. Glenn?
Well, thanks, Mike. I've been kidding this guy all year. Back for about 2 years now, when I was going to get to talk to him in Victory Lane again. You made your move early, and it paid off.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't know, it just looked like it was time to go to me, so we went and had Terry behind me, and boy, I owe a lot to Terry because, you know, he hung with me, got me up there, didn't leave me hanging. He is my teammate.
Did you see the black car coming on the last lap?
Yeah, I saw the black car coming, but I knew Terry wanted the second, you know, just as bad as I wanted first, so he was going to do everything to hold him off.
I don't think there's anybody down here that wanted to win more than Ken Schrader.
Well, this is real nice, and we sure like it for AC Delco and Chevrolet and Budweiser and that. But we kind of got to get that race tomorrow. That's the biggie.
Okay, good luck to you, Ken. We're going to let him celebrate.
Schrader the winner, Labonte second, Earnhardt third, Marlin fourth, and Jeff Purvis, the pole sitter, finishing fifth. Chad Little, Hermie Sadler, Mike McLaughlin, Mike Wallace, and Tracy Leslie. And again, this is all unofficial. Larry Pearson, Joe Nemechek, the point leader. David Green extends his lead. Dale Fishline, first ever Busch race, finished up in the lead draft. Randy LaJoy, one lap down in 15th. Doug Hevron, Morgan Shepherd, Dave Rezendes, Mike Garvey, Tim Fedowa, all one lap down. 2 laps back in 21st, Elton Sawyer, Steve Grissom, Derek Cope, Kenny Wallace. He's 3 laps down, along with Bobby Dotter and Kevin LePage in 26th. Johnny Rumley was 4 laps down. Rodney Combs 12 laps back. Then Robert Presley, Ernie Irvin in 30th. Harry Gant, Ricky Craven. These cars finishing up in the garage. Tommy Houston, Randy Porter, and Dale Jarrett, 35th. Dennis Setzer, Jason Keller, Johnny Benson, Jim Bound, Bobby Labonte finishing up in 40th. Michael Waltrip, Rich Bickle, and Mark Martin. I want to thank Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker, Randy Pemberton, and Glenn Jarrett for their work today. I'm Mike Joy. So long from Talladega, Alabama, and Ken Schrader's crew celebrates their victory in the Fram Filters 500K.